So just grab a blanket if you haven't already. If you've got a couple of blocks, that'll be helpful. If not, some cushions. Also, if you have a nice book, thick book like this sort of size, or a block, keep that to hand as well. And also a bolster. So bolster or long cushion, either or is good. So we're going to start in a comfortable seat. So just find either sit into the shins, or you can sit to cross-legged. If you are comfortable with your seat lifted up a little bit higher, do that. Otherwise, you can just sit bones to the earth. Just have a drink quickly. Okay. Nice. So welcome. So good to see you all. Nice to see you. And this month we're working into just bringing more life in, more energy in, more ability to really take more life into our heart, into our mind, into what we experience. So as we take more life in, we're going to be taking more prana in, more energy in. And this is all around the heart space. So our connection with the external world, how do we allow this unification, this symbiotic relationship moving through the heart? And also, as we really start to bring more life in, bring more prana in, we're allowing ourselves to light up more. So we feel more energized, we feel our immune system's much more potent, we feel more connected and more intuitive. And also we have, when we're working into the heart space, we really have that deep connection to our soul and our divine aspect. So we're narrowing the gap from this material world to our essence, to where we came from, our spirit, our soul, our higher aspect. So we're really looking at the world in a much broader, bigger, and more expanded way when we step into the heart. So this month is all about that and really charging up our energetic field. So as we start to move through the seasons, we're coming more into the light, we're allowing more light to come into our bodies through the heart. So if you've not guessed it already, it's a heart-based class, working in opening the heart space and just breathing more energy into the heart center. So we'll start from a comfortable seated position. You might want to take a little rolled up blanket underneath your sit bones if you find it difficult to sit cross-legged, or just elevate your seat a little bit higher. And find a nice long tall spine. And just start to close down through the eyes. You can rest your hands onto your knees or in your lap, wherever's most comfortable for your shoulders. And just take a nice deep exhalation through the mouth. And inhale through the nose. Deep exhalation through the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose. And last, deep sigh out through the mouth. Inhale again through the nose. And just allow your breath to feel very effortless, natural. Return into a very spontaneous rhythm. And just take a moment to really let your awareness drop into your physical body. So often we're using our minds, we're thinking ahead, we're planning our to-do lists, we're working, we have so much to do. And just taking a moment to allow yourself to drop down into your body, just feeling what's going on here, allowing yourself to become present, to really feel yourself in this moment without having to move forward anywhere, not thinking about the past, just here with your body, with your breath. If it feels good to sigh or yawn, just to release the day, release the thoughts from the mind, please feel free to. And just dropping your attention into any parts of the body that feel a little resistant or tight. It feels good to just move into those parts of the body just to help shift. Just take a few more breaths, letting yourself arrive in this space. So when we start to bring our attention into the heart space, we can really drop into what is sitting in our emotional field. So just take a moment to draw your attention into the center of your heart, into the spiritual heart, in the center of your chest. Take a moment to really feel anything that's sitting in that space. Maybe residual emotions or feelings left over from today, or maybe even the week past. Not judging, but just witnessing, becoming aware of anything that's sat there. It might come to you as a physical sensation or feeling, not so much an emotional, but just drawing your attention more into the heart space. It might feel nice to take a big sigh or a nice deep breath in, or maybe a stretch around the heart, maybe a little wriggle to really bring your attention into that center point. Our portal of navigation. So just allow your awareness to now move into the breath. So you're feeling the breath directly coming from the heart center. So as you inhale, really allow the center of the chest to expand. So the rib cage is widening, and a deep filling up all around the heart space. And then as you exhale the breath, feel all of your anatomy coming back in towards the center of the chest. So just like a balloon inflating, opening, expanding with every inhale, and that shrinking back in towards the center as you exhale the breath out. Again, not forcing or pushing the breath, but just feeling that lovely opening, that expansion, that sense of fullness, and then the releasing, the surrendering, and the exhale. Try to really soften the muscles through the rib cage, through the shoulders. Just let your shoulders sit comfortably so the arms can dangle down. And really feel the breath even in the back of the heart, so expanding all the way around to the spine. So often we constrict this area and we hold it tense, we hold it tight, we're protecting the heart. We know its potency, we know what is there, we know it houses a lot of our emotional traumas and pains and our vulnerability. So the rib cage acts as that casing to keep it safe. But when we can really feel into this space and feel any areas that we're restricting and really allow ourselves to surrender that, holding, that gripping, that protective mentality, we can just allow more life to come in. We can allow more spaciousness. We can also allow more softness and this real sense of relaxation to move around the heart, which is so crucial, especially when we're living in a society that's based on stress and doing and lots going on all the time. It's really good to feel that relaxation in the heart center. So just take a few more rounds of breath, breathing in this way, really feeling that sense of opening and expansion from the heart space outwards into the world. Feeling a sense of softness and release as you let go of the breath. Again, use your breath in any way that helps you, maybe sigh in, yawn in the breath. Just another couple of rounds. Nice, and then slowly blinking open the eyes and coming back into our first shape. We'll move into a cat-cow position. So just coming over to all fours, take your hands about as wide as your shoulders, knees as wide as your hips. And I want you to really focus on just the breath moving the spine in this cat-cow motion. But just feeling the breath in the heart space still. So keep all of your attention, your awareness in the heart center. Allow your spine to feel nice and long. The gaze is down towards the floor. Have a very gentle bend into the elbows so you feel soft through the shoulders and through the arms. And just hug the core very slightly in to protect the lower back.
So exhale the breath fully. Then as you inhale, allow the heart space to gently drop towards the floor. So you feel that expansion in the center of your heart towards the floor. And you might feel the tailbone gently lifting up. And as you exhale, feel the breath push back. So you're pulling all of the breath, the heart space back towards the spine. And that gentle dome in, maybe you feel the tucking under the tailbone. Again, as you inhale, move from the heart space. So you're feeling the breath move the heart closer towards the floor. Shoulder blades squeeze together. And as you exhale, pushing the breath out from the heart. So constricting the breath back, pushing the rib cage back towards the spine and feeling that hollowing out of the heart center. So you're squeezing all that out. We're just moving very, very subtly, but really focused around the heart, front, back, sides of the heart. And you can see it like a pump. So as you flood and fill the chest, the heart with oxygen, prana, expands and opens and pushes down towards the floor. And as you exhale, the breath slowly pushes away and imagine you're squeezing the pump out so it hollows out completely. Feel that hollowing out. Just a couple more breaths moving in this quite subtle way. Nice slow movements with your breath. Really allow yourself to move slowly to feel all the subtlety of your body, of your breath. And just by moving in a more subtle and more sensitive way, what it allows to shift in your body, in your mind. Just taking one more round, just take your time. Nice. So from that very subtle movement, now you can move a little bit more expressively. So as you inhale, you can allow the tailbone and the head to lift towards the ceiling as the heart and belly drops to the floor. As you exhale, round the spine, tuck into chest and tailbone towards pubic bone. Really hollow out the belly, the heart, back to the spine. But just that subtle shift allows so much more movement in the back of the heart, in the rib cage. Maybe the spine feels a little bit more flexible. Just tuning into what is shifting. Move with your breath at a rhythm and a pace that feels good for you. And really feel a nice lengthening. So you're stretching the head away from the tailbone. In your cow, then in the cat, you're rounding the head towards the tailbone. So you're really stretching the spine out. Just a couple more rounds in your own time. Nice. And then when you're ready, just slowly come back into a neutral spine. And you can take your hands and knees just a little bit further out and allow your belly and chest to come down to the floor. So moving into Sphinx Pose, but just adding a little bit of dynamic movement before we come to pause. So take your fingertips off of the mat and lift your elbows up towards the ceiling. So you've got a nice open, broad chest, collarbone. And as we inhale, lift up through the upper body, just pushing into the fingertips, push the hip bones down into the floor. As you exhale, look to your right, let your left cheek come to the floor and let your left shoulder drop towards the floor. As you inhale, come back up through to center, stretch the crown of the head up, hearts forward. As you exhale, let your right cheek come to the floor, look to your left side. Inhale through center. And exhale to twist to your right. So just moving in this way. Inhale is through center. And then exhale to your left. Just take a few more through, moving with the rhythm of your breath, and feel all of the twisting, the movement happening in the upper back, all around the armpit, the head of the shoulder. Get as much movement in this space of the body as you can. Nice, just take one more to each side. And then pause in center. You can take your elbows down to the floor and walk them closer in towards one another. So you want your elbows gently hugging in towards each other, and your hands can either be flat to the floor or prayer hands, or you might feel nice to hold on to the elbows. If you have the elbows really close into the body, you're going to get more of a back bend. And if the elbows are slightly further away, it's not as intense. So you want to keep the back of the neck nice and long. You're not lifting the chin up. You're keeping the chin just very gently tucking towards the throat, and lift into the crown of the head. So you feel that you're stretching the spine out of the hips. So you're lengthening forward and up, and you can gently push into the elbows here. If it feels that you need a little bit of extra prop-in or support, you can grab a blanket to bring underneath the chest, underneath the rib cage. Just adds a little bit more support for your spine. So you can start to close down through the eyes. We're going to be here for around 3 minutes. And just allowing your breath to move into the center of your heart. So again, we're finding that opening, that kind of rippling sensation from the heart space outward. So that opening through the rib cage, the center of the heart, the back of the heart. And that deep compression as you exhale the breath. Really allow yourself to release completely through the breath, exhaling fully all of the air out of the lungs so that you're able to take in as much new prana, new oxygen as you can. Just coming through our last minute. See if you can make any more space through the neck, across the shoulders, in the upper back. Maybe it might feel nice to really lengthen and open through the arms, taking the hands out to the side and gently lifting up into seal. Just here for the last 30 seconds or so. Nice. So if you have any props underneath you, just gently move those out to the side. You can bend your elbows out to the side, make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead down to rest the upper back. If it feels nice to take some wiggles through your hips or your feet, you can do that. Just allowing your breath to move into the back of the heart. Really fill the back of your heart up with your breath. So from here, just lift yourself up and over a little bit more to the left side of your mat, so you've got a bit more space on the right hand side. We want to bring the right hand down beside the hip, but stretch it away from your body. So you're really lengthening and opening the hand away from your hip. And then you may want a blanket or a cushion by your head. We're going to bring the right cheek to the floor. And then your left hand comes down to the floor. I'll go the other side so you can see now. The left hand comes down to the floor and you can push into that hand and roll over. So your left foot is coming behind you and your left hand can act as a post to push into gently. If that feels too much to roll all the way back with your left leg, then just bend your knees and bring your legs to stack. You might want to take a cushion or a blanket in between your knees so you've got something to support your hips. If you feel that you've got a bit more space, you can keep stretching your right hand away from you, or you can take the hand up higher so it's more in line with your shoulder. And if you feel that it's still not stretching you enough, if you bend the right elbow, so the elbow is in line with your shoulder and the hand is beside your head. So that's going to be the most intense. So in broken wing, just here for around 1.5 minutes each side. I want you to really feel into the space surrounding your right side of your chest. So going more towards the outer edge of your pec muscle and into towards the armpit. And then send your breath into that space in your body. So every inhale, you're trying to open and create more space all around the side of the heart. This muscle, the pectoral muscle, gets so constricted where we're really reaching forward in life all the time. We're always looking towards the future and we're always then reaching forward into life, obviously using our arms all day, working on things, and that muscle gets so constricted. So it, feel that restriction in the side of the chest as a restriction in our ability to really be expanded in our minds, our hearts, in our lives. So to create a little bit more space here really allows more space to enter into our mental aspect too. Just taking last 2 or 3 breaths here. Nice, and then to come out, just slowly roll onto your front. You can allow your right hand to come down beside your hip if it's not there already. You can look to the right and bring your left hand down beside your hip too. Just rest here for a moment, let your shoulders relax, and really bring your attention into that right shoulder, that right side of the chest, and notice what you feel in that space. Is there more heat? Is there energy flushing through there? Do you feel more heat or warmth in your arms? Just notice what's going on. And continue to allow yourself to stay open through this whole area we've just stretched. Just the last couple of breaths. Nice, and then from here we can go to the opposite side. So you want to stretch your left hand down beside the hip and stretch it away from your body. So you're really reaching out into the fingertips. Keep your gaze towards your right shoulder. Bring your right hand down in front of the chest, act as a post. Push into that hand and then slowly roll onto your left hip. You can take that right foot behind you. And again, if that's too much, just come into a bent knee position and stay on your side body. And just breathe into that whole space around the side of your chest. And really feel the shoulder blade squeezing more towards the midline of the body in the back body. If you can create more space or move more deeply into the posture, you can take the hand higher up towards the shoulder, or again, bend the elbow and bring the hand in line with the head. Just take a last round of breath here. And then with your next inhalation, slowly roll onto your front. Allow your head to turn round to look to your left shoulder this time, and release both your hands to the sides of your hips. Just pause and rest here. Just really feel into that left shoulder. Just last couple of breaths. And then you can slowly bring your hands beside your chest. Turn your gaze to the center. And as you inhale, gently prop yourself up to an all fours position. Nice. So from here, moving into a little bit more of an opening through the triceps, through the armpit area, moving into extended puppy. So you want to take the knees nice and wide. Make sure the hips are stacking over the knees, so you're keeping the weight back into the legs, toes tucked or feet flat, whatever's most comfortable. And then just start to walk your hands further forward. So first option is to drop your forehead down to the floor or to a block. And then second option is to drop the elbows down, bring your hands together, make a prayer, and then bring the thumb to rest onto the nape of the neck. So that's your second option. If that's too much for you today, you want to work a little bit softer, walk your hands back, come to child's pose. So you're taking toes together, knees apart. Let your arms stretch forward, bring the forehead to the floor or to a block. Or you can take your hands together and take the thumbs to the nape of the neck again. So your choice of what feels good for you today, and if it feels too strong, you can always regress it. We're going to be here for another 3 minutes. So just allow yourself to really feel a very gentle and slow surrender. So your breath is just gently finding that opening, that dropping of the heart towards the floor, that melting of the chest, of the rib cage, of the collarbones, of the armpit, all of that protection, that guarding in the front of the heart, just allowing it to expand and open, taking more space. As the exhale comes in, maybe feeling a little bit more constriction around the rib cage, the shoulder blade area, that you can then move into with your next inhale. Really follow your breath. Feel it move in your body. Just last 2 minutes here. Is there any more space that you can let yourself move into? Is there anywhere that you're holding yourself back, not allowing yourself to take more life in, to take more energy in? Can you just let yourself move into that space a little bit more fully? Just last 30 seconds or so. Nice. So if you took your little thin hands, you can release your palms down to the floor. Take your hands separate, and then slowly as you inhale, start to push yourself back to come into a lifted position. And take the knees together, sit back to the heels if that feels okay for your legs. Otherwise, just take the legs out in front of you. Keep the chest open and lifted, the shoulder blades squeezing back and down. So keeping all that lovely openness across the front of your heart. Back of the heart stays nice and strong. And see if you can really move your breath into those spaces that you were stretching and opening to. Nice, so we're finished with just one more shape. And I'll give you a couple of options. So you can either come into a supported bridge, working with either a couple of blocks or cushions. You can take the blocks about this height underneath your sacrum, and if you want to come down to the floor, shift yourself into the middle of the mat, roll down, and then push into the feet, the arms, the hands, lift the hips up, and bring the block just underneath your sacrum, so in your lower back. You've got a nice lift and nice length into the back of your neck, and then arms can just rest down to the side or above the head. That's first option. Or second option, you can take some cushions or blocks or a bolster underneath the backs of the knees, soles of the feet together, so your legs are in butterfly. And then you want to take your block or your book widthways across the back of your heart. So it's just at the bottom of the shoulder blade, so it's in line with the bottom of the bra line, and you want that going right across the middle of the back. And then you can rest your head on a cushion or some more blocks. So if you're taking that option, just come down very slowly. First, prop yourself down onto your elbows and then move the block as you need to. So it's going to be more towards the upper abdomen, behind the back of the waist. And then the head and rest there. You've got the shoulder blades and the arms resting in that space in between the two blocks. And then arms can either be in a outstretched position, more T shape, or over the head, or if it feels more comfortable to rest the hands on the body, please feel free to. Just take your variation, your option, and let yourself come into nice slow pace of breath once again. Bring your focus, your attention into your heart space. So allowing all of the lovely energy of our breath to really clear through the heart. On a physical level, allowing all of the tissues to expand and open. On an emotional level, allowing our heart to feel more expanded, more vulnerable, more seen, more felt. And on a mental level, allowing ourselves that same space to really open ourselves, to feel a real letting go of a need to protect, the need to close off, to play small, allowing more life in. Let's stay for a few more minutes. So just taking the last couple of breaths here. And then just allowing yourself to really, really gently and slowly come out of the shape. If you're in a supported bridge, just bring your hands down again beside your hips, push into your feet, your arms, lift your hips up a little bit higher, and then move the props out to the side. If you're in a supported butterfly, heart opener, you can do the same. Maybe even hold on to the side of your mat, bring the soles of the feet flat to the mat, tuck chin to chest, squeeze your core, and then slowly prop yourself onto the elbows and lift yourself up. You can move any props out to the side. If you've got a bolster under the back of your knees, keep that there. We're moving into Shavasana from here, so you might like to take a blanket behind the back of your head, or maybe bringing in a blanket over the body. But first, just come down to lay onto your back. Just keep your props handy, take your legs out long. Just find a moment to feel that spaciousness you've opened into around the heart space. And then you can bring the knees into the chest, give yourself a nice big squeeze and a hug. And a little rock side to side. So use your elbows to push you side to side as you roll across the back of your head, your heart, and your hips. And then when you feel ready to, just taking your legs out long. Support the back of the knees if you can, but make sure the heels are rested onto the floor or blocks. Take in any props underneath your head, over the body. And allowing yourself to come into a really nice rested space. So we're going to move into an extended Shavasana, so combined with Yoga Nidra. So just make sure that you're really comfortable and you can let yourself completely drop into a space of rest. So you might also like to turn the lights down or put something light over your eyes. Nice. So once you've found position to rest into, just allowing your breath to take a few sighs, a few nice deep inhalations and exhalations. Let your body settle into the space. As you find a nice comfortable space to really rest your body into, allow yourself to take up space. So the arms and legs are really outstretched. You can feel a nice length in the back of your neck, the knees supported so they can completely rest and relax into that support. Just feel into the body as it lies here, noticing the weight of the body. As you inhale, feel into a sense of lightness, a real sense of weightlessness with every inhalation, almost as though the body is lifting up and away from the floor. And in your exhalation, feel a sense of heaviness. So the body is really dropping all weight and sinking down into the core of the earth, sinking down. Allow your inhalation and exhalation to smooth out and to elongate. So you're moving yourself into a deeper space of rest, of processing, of healing, of digestion. And signaling to your nervous system to come into a really safe space so you can completely let go, completely surrender, allowing yourself to move into the subconscious part of your mind.
Continue on, just feeling into the lightness of your inhalation and the heaviness, the surrender of the exhalation. And each exhalation, allow yourself to become just 1% more rested, more comfortable, more soft through the body, so that all of the muscles feel that they're dropping away from the bone and completely surrendered. The bones feel as though they can completely release their weight into the support beneath them. Taking your awareness to the crown of your head. Feel into the space of the scalp and allow the scalp to relax. So all of the muscles and the skin, the tissues can soften. The bone can relax. And feeling into the brain itself, allowing the brain to completely release any tension, any tightness. Feel spaciousness surrounding the brain. Allow the forehead, the temples, the eyebrows to soften, to relax, and release any gripping, any holding. Breathe in softness into the eyeballs as they just gently relax into the top of the eye socket. Relaxing all around the eyes, the eyelid, underneath the eyes and into the cheeks. Feel the roof of the mouth softening, the tongue and the bottom palate of the mouth relaxing. The gums soft and the throat soft. Feel the jaw completely relaxed and even a little space between the teeth, top and bottom row, and the tongue can just rest behind the bottom teeth. Feel the ears internally and externally soften, a sense of rest in the inner ear. Feeling the point where the spine plugs into the skull, soften and relax. The axis bone that we use all day long to look side to side, up, down, allow a sense of rest to come into the musculature surrounding that bone. And as the muscles here soften and relax, feel the shoulders gently soften away from the crown of your head. Feel the collarbones widen and the softness into the shoulder joint and the collarbone area. Allow the triceps and biceps to release their holding and feel the elbow joint just rest. The forearms really soften, so much so that the fingers can gently curl in towards the palm of the hand. And allowing the fingers to really relax. Let all of the work that your hands have done for you today be appreciated. And in that appreciation, really allow your hands to let go. All of the bones, all of the muscles, the tendons, softening in both hands. Bring awareness to the back body, to the tops of the shoulders. Feel the shoulders gently melting down the back of your body. Really feel both shoulder blades connecting with the earth. feeling completely held and supported so that they can drop their weight and drop their holding. All of the muscles through the rib cage and the side body can soften with each exhalation. Allowing the whole spine to rest, to feel completely supported. As you allow the weight of your back to drop into the floor beneath you. Feeling the little gap in the back of the waist soften. And just rest here. Breathing space into each vertebrae. The back of the pelvis into the lower back. And feel completely rested as it's supported by the earth beneath you. Feel all of that space widen and melt into the floor as you exhale the breath. Feel the buttocks relaxing, the hamstrings softening, backs of the knees relaxing, and the calves can release all effort, all work, and just rest. As the heels connecting with the earth, feel a lengthening down of the heel from the crown of your head, feeling the whole back line of the body long and open and rested. Soles of the feet can soften all of their tensions. All of the bones in the feet, many bones working, holding weight all day, allowing us to really stand strong on this earth. Give gratitude to your feet and allow them to relax, allow them to deeply soften. Each toe, feeling the work in the feet relaxing. As each toe softens, gently curls. All the tops of the feet are soft and relaxed. And that relaxation and softness moving into the ankle joint. Allow the feet to just gently fall out. Releasing all hold. Awareness into each shin bone, soft and relaxed. And that softness into the kneecap. Kneecap can rest and relax, feeling softness through the front of the thigh to the quadriceps and the hip flexor. Really let your inner thighs soften. No holding through the upper thigh. No holding through the groin as you allow your breath to move all the way down. Sense of real softening and relaxation. In the pelvic floor, in the pelvis, in the organs. Feel the navel and the lower belly really soft with each exhalation. Just dropping any holding internally. Allow your inhale to expand the belly. Upper abdomen really open and relaxed. Each exhalation, a nice sinking sensation in the belly. The waist is soft and relaxed. With each breath, you feel that softening, that relaxation. The lungs and the heart space completely rested, completely relaxed. And then the whole upper chest soften and release any holding, any gripping. Whole body completely relaxed. And just resting your awareness into the heart center. Body sleeps, mind sleeps. Awareness remains awake and aware. Bring your attention directly into the center of your chest. And feel your very subtle, gentle breath moving from your nose down into the center of your heart. And as you exhale the breath from the heart up through and out the nose, a subtle, spontaneous and gentle breath moves from the nose to the heart. On exhalation from the heart back out through the nose. Just watching that stream of energy move in and out. Now allow your breath to just rest gently into the center of the heart. And here you can visualize a very small almond-sized flame, whichever color comes to mind. A small almond-sized flame in the center of your chest, center of your heart. And as you inhale, this flame grows and fills the entire chest, upper chest area. And with each exhalation, the flame moves back into that small almond size. Inhalation fills, floods the chest, torso with light. And each exhalation, feel the flame, the light come back into that small almond size shape. Just watching and following the breath, expanding and contracting. Breath is effortless, the breath is silent, and the breath feels super smooth and still. As you feel the breath moving in this way, notice how the mind is also in this calm, smooth, silent, still and effortless space. And as the breath becomes more and more smooth and silent, almost not existent, notice how the light still moves on its own. The light has an intelligence of its own, expanding and contracting without even the need of your breath. Allow your awareness to merge into the center of that light. Your whole conscious awareness to merge with the center of that light. As you merge and feel into this source of light internally, feel into that light. Allow yourself to become combined and one with that light. And as you connect more deeply with that light, you come to realize that you are the flame. You are part of that light. Allow yourself to rest in the visualization, sensation, and feeling of complete oneness with the internal light, the internal flame. As you feel yourself completely intertwined, merged, and connected, unified with this light, this flame, feeling part of it, notice a deep sense of contentment, fulfillment. No wants, no desires, all desires fulfilled. And a deep sense of joy and lightness emanating from within. Allow your complete sense of self to rest in Ananda Shakti, this complete bliss state, complete contentment and joy in the light of the heart. Very slowly and gradually beginning to draw your awareness back into the center of the heart as you see all of your energy, all of that light, that flame slowly coming back down into that small almond size, but still feeling the potency, depth of that heart space contained within that small almond flame. Back into awareness of your breath, allowing your breath to feel more full and deep within your body. Taking more energy back in, allowing your mind to come back into the space, back to your body. And finally, allowing your physical sense of self to return. You can take some very gentle movements into the fingers, the toes, the hands, your feet. Maybe stretching the head side to side. Taking any circles, sways, stretches that feel intuitively good for you when you're ready. And then when you feel ready to, just taking a moment, taking your time, slowly come back onto your side. Just take a moment to really rest on your side as you come from one state to another. Really honor that transitional period. Feel into that space between. Whenever you feel ready to, gently pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. We'll finish with hands in prayer, pressing the thumbs into the heart center, just connecting back into that beautiful space of your heart. Allow all of your heart center to feel open, lifted, expanded as you take a nice deep breath in. Now as you exhale, bow your head down in gratitude to yourself, to the practice of yoga, and to each other for sharing this time and space together. May we feel the radiance of our heart, of our highest aspect, of our soul essence, shine forth in all aspects of our lives. May we keep that deep inherent joy with us at all times, knowing that it is our natural state of being to be in that sense of contentment, fulfillment, joy, and real deep vitality.
Wishing you a really beautiful week ahead. Continue to shine this beautiful light out to the world around you. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. Namaste.